Welcome to Restore 2022. Today we're reading Hosea chapters 13 and 14. And you will have noticed that Hosea has repeated himself time and again throughout his prophecy, although he's used many different metaphors. He has described God's view of Israel as a promiscuous wife, an indifferent mother, an illegitimate child, an ungrateful son, even a stubborn heifer and a silly dove. But remember, Hosea has been ministering for over perhaps 30 years, and throughout that time Israel has refused to listen or learn or care. He's had to repeat himself. And now the time of judgment has come. Israel's prosperity is about to evaporate like mist or dew or chaff blown by the wind. They've been worshipping Baal, a pagan fertility god in the form of a calf, attributing their wealth and prosperity to the idol. And if it seems strange to us in our technology-saturated age that people should bow down to animal images, we should remember that, well, even now in India, people bow down to Ganesh, an elephant god, believed to sweep away obstacles and bring about success. However, ancient Israel had known God, and Yahweh is the one who brought them through the desert to settle them in safety and security. But they have forgotten this, and they have constantly ignored Hosea's warnings. And now the time has almost run out. Assyria, which is symbolized in verse 15 as the east wind, the wind of the Lord, will soon utterly devastate the land and decimate the people. The description of this in verse 16 isn't ghoulish poetry. We know, for instance, from Amos's oracle against the Ammonites, that this describes the actual inhuman brutality of the time. In fact, since Hosea continued prophesying into the reign of Hezekiah, he lived to witness this for himself. But Hosea's message never ends with judgment. It is dominated with the almost crazy, consuming love God has for his people despite their persistent wickedness. And chapter 14 repeats the incredible promise of God to turn away his anger, heal his people, and to love them freely, because he, and not the fertility gods, is the giver of fruitfulness, and he will cause their land to overflow with fruitfulness again. In fact, Hosea even offers Israel the form of a prayer of repentance to avoid the judgment, and which they can pray even at this late stage. But of course, as we know, they didn't pray it. The prophecy ends with a word of advice. Whoever is wise, let him understand these things. And of course, the advice that follows still stands for us today.